Review of the SOG Twitch 2 pocket knife here. All around, it's a really good knife. It's a good knife for the value. However, this one is not mine. It's a friend's, and I believe he's had it at least 6 years. He may have had it longer, but it's kind of one of his everyday carry knives. You know, it's not threatening at all. It's a tiny knife. It fits into most employers' rules regarding carrying pocket knives, and he can still use it, you know, if he has to get the dirt out from underneath his fingernails or he wants to cut something open. He really loves this knife. I'm not that in love with it, and I'll tell you why as we get into the review. But it is a really good knife for the price point. It's really solidly made. It's got some good ergonomics on it as far as how you hold the knife. My main issue with this knife is that the handle scales here are extremely slick. I don't like that. The knife feels really sturdy. You know, it's machined very well. It's built really well. It's got great lockup. It's at least 6 years old. It might be 8 or 10 years old. I don't have the facts in front of me to check that, and also to check when the SOG 2 or the SOG Twitch 2 came into production. But relatively as soon as it came out on the market, he bought it. Now, I will tell you with the SOG Twitch 2 that this knife retails for $72.50. That's according to the SOG's website. You shouldn't buy it from SOG. Don't buy it from SOG's website. I don't mind if SOG watches this video and they get mad at us. That's okay. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I wouldn't buy this from SOG's website. It's $72.50 there. On Amazon, it's much less expensive. I would buy it from Amazon.com. If you want to go buy it and you want to support survivalreviews.com, go to survivalreviews.com first. Find this video review on a page there, and then click on one of the links at the bottom of the page to go to Amazon, and that will actually help us support the site. So on Amazon.com, this knife here you can find for as low as $38. So almost half price from what it is listed on SOG's site. I would recommend you go to Amazon.com and pick this up if you want it. Like I said, it's very well made. It's really kind of a unique locking mechanism, and I like that. I like the innovation in this knife. I also like that it's a full blade. It's not partially serrated. I'm not a huge fan of serrated blades because they're a little bit more difficult to sharpen and to keep sharp. At least for me, they are. Also, they reduce the cutting belly of my knife. If I've got, you know, serrations at the start of the knife and then I've got the blade towards the end, they really kind of impact my ability to do big, long, straight cuts. You know, where I could get the full belly of the knife in the material. So that's just me. That's a personal preference. You know, I don't have to cut seat belts every day or any of the other uses that people think serrated edges are so great for. I will tell you, you know, a knife like this with a non-serrated edge, you could pretty much sharpen anywhere. You could sharpen this on a rock that you find if you had to. You can't do that with a serrated edge knife. At least I've never seen anyone do it. I don't have experience doing it. So, you know, if you guys think you can sharpen a serrated edge knife, at least if you can sharpen the serrations on a rock out in the woods, post a video reply. I'll put that on this one, or put a comment on the YouTube video down there. Alright, so let's talk about some of the specs with this folder, this SOG Twitch 2. The blade length is 2.68 inches, so you know it's well under the 3 inches blade length that I know my employer says is the restriction. A lot of employers say 3 inches or under. The overall length of the knife, I've got a pin here for comparison size, but that's going to be 6.2 inches, and the weight is 2.6 ounces. Although it feels heavier than that, and I think it's because it's all metal. The knife is completely metal from the hex screws that secure the handle together to the pivot point here, the blade, the thumb studs, the scales. It's all metal. It's all steel, stainless steel. The handle scales here are hard anodized aluminum, and the finish, which is one of the things I don't like about this knife, is called Satin. Okay, that's nice and everything. It's, you know, it's smooth. Maybe it's relaxing if I want to, you know, remember those worry stones you used to carry as a kid, or maybe your aunt carried, that were real smooth. They had been tumbled, and you could rub them if you got nervous or anxious or something. You know, it feels like that. It's really, really smooth. But I don't like that. If I have anything on my hands are wet, my hands are slimy, my hands are slippery, this knife would definitely slip out of your hands. In fact, it almost slips out of my hands when they're dry. Okay? Like I said, great knife. Great knife for the price point. I personally do not like the satin finish and how smooth the handle is. If this were my knife and not a friend's given to me for the purpose of this review, I would actually put some skateboard tape or something on the handle to give me a more grippy surface. Skateboard tape would definitely do that. Now, it might wear off over time, and you'd have to clean it with some acetone or something, and then reapply some. But that'd be okay. Not really a big deal. You know, I think it is a fairly attractive knife, but you know, and a good value for the price point. It's just not something that I'm that into. All right, the steel used in the blade is going to be an AUS 8 stainless steel with a hardness on the Rockwell hardness scale of 57 to 58. I said before, and I'll tell you again, the handles are going to be hard anodized aluminum. At least the scales. If you look inside, you know, there's the liner is going to be stainless steel as well. Just the scale part. Just the scale part here, this gray part, is going to be the anodized aluminum. Everything else is going to be stainless, which is good. I mean, you know, you could throw this knife in the dishwasher if it was dirty, and then take it out, and let it finish air drying, and you'd be good to go. It's going to have really, really good corrosion resistance on the blade and the internal mechanisms. Now, for country of origin, SOG says that this is assembled in the United States, so I definitely thank SOG for assembling this in the U.S. However, I don't believe this is manufactured in the U.S. I believe different parts are manufactured in different areas and then brought together and assembled in the U.S. But, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. If you know something that I don't, go on there, go on to our site, correct me, or post a comment, post some comments down at the bottom of this video on our YouTube channel or on this YouTube video review.